Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are Brothers on Tennis. And folks, we have just been served up a wonderful, fantastic dose of Masters 1000 tennis, and it was awesome. Bryce, come on, man. We
It
was up in
was.
Madrid, and things was popping off. Talk to us, brother.
And I continue to say this, here was a tournament where we didn't have Rafa, we didn't have Novak, but to me, it could not have been more exciting.
Come on now. Say
You
it. I
know,
mean, that this tournament was just it was fire, bro. I'm
it
gonna
was,
tell you, if this tournament is anything like what we about to get for the French Open, I'm telling you what, I will be there for every drip drop. Let me tell you.
right. Yeah, no, I mean, we saw the resurgence of some players we hadn't seen in a while.
Yes.
We've seen, the top heads, coming through. But you know what? To get this all kicked off, I have a bit of a hot take.
Come on now.
Now, am I the only one that would love to see in these 1,000 level tournaments where you have both the men and the women there that we could throw in a small mixed doubles draw?
You know, that is not a bad idea at all.
I mean, even if you just made it a 16 team draw,
Right, right, right.
uh, I think number one, it gives more opportunities for more people to get some more money on the
Mm-hmm.
tour, right?
Right.
Maybe even to sell some more tickets. But I think it's an opportunity for players, especially you've seen when the pros end up losing early and
Right.
then they enter like mixed doubles or whatever to get some more time on court.
Right.
Um, I just think it would be nice since we don't have a lot of tournaments that we have both the men and women at. I mean, for so long it had only been the majors and Indian Wells and and kind of Miami. But now we're having more and more of the 1,000 level tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati, Madrid, the Italian. You know, let's throw some mixed doubles in there.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly. And Bryce, you kind of touched upon something that's also a bit of a controversy as well, because now it seems that because they are making the 1000s 2 week events, the players who are dropping out or losing first round now are basically there are issues or concerns about them getting the necessary reps before Grand Slam. And
Hmm.
so apparently there is a lot of concern from the players around that. But at the same time, what I think that ends up benefiting is those challenger events because
Yep.
we saw some draws this week, Bryce, as far as the challenger events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy Murray versus Tommy Paul in the final.
Come on, bruh.
That,
You
that
can
that's a 500 level tournament.
that can easily be a 500 level tournament. And I mean, you got Sloan out there trying to pick up a title, Kirstea picking up a title. It's like what? What? I mean, yeah, the challenger circuit got hot and popping over the second week of Madrid. Let me tell you that.
And
Crazy,
you know
Bryce.
what? I'm not mad at that because
No.
once again, like we've talked about, it's at those challenger tournaments that you have fans that get a chance to see some big names that they maybe wouldn't ordinarily get a chance to see. They
Right.
get a chance to interact with them in a much more intimate environment. I
Yep.
think it's good for the game, actually.
I absolutely agree. I think that when it came out that it was a controversy, I was like, I don't quite understand why, because there are other tournaments that you can go to. It may not
Right.
be, a 250 or whatever that you used to, but still, that, like you said, is even more beneficial because you've got a very low key tournament where people locals can go and really see some big names play. I think it's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, to have those types of names pulling out challenger titles, yeah.
I
Go
mean, I'm
ahead.
sorry. Andy Murray versus Tommy Paul.
Yes. Crazy. Crazy. You got
And
three-time Grand Slam champion, Olympic gold
right.
medalist.
Yeah. And shout out to Andy for taking the title.
Right? I mean, we love us some Tommy Paul up on Brothers on Tennis. Don't get us wrong, but man, Andy Murray was like, "Listen, I'm trying to get me some reps. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it in for
And
this French
right.
Open."
That was
Oh.
amazing. And I forgot all the other names because there was some other big names in that tournament too. And I
Yeah,
was like,
Monfils.
wow,
He played Monfils the first round. It was
I
Monfils
know.
against Andy. That kind of hurt my heart a little bit because I was like, nah, how y'all gonna put in a challenger Monfils against Andy Murray in the first round? That's wrong.
But
That's
can you
wrong.
imagine that somebody who paid $7.99 for their ticket to go
Right?
to that challenger match, they got Andy Murray and Gael Monfils?
Right? Dude, it's insane. And I'm like I said, like you said, I'm loving every minute of it. I think it's actually a good thing for the schedule. So
Right.
we'll see how that ends up going. But I was very amused at some of the champions from this week.
All right. So we're gonna go to the big men, big women tournament
There you go.
in Madrid, where 1,000 points were on the line. And Isaac, I'm gonna just let you call it. I don't care which one we start with, the men or the women.
Well, do you want to give a quick shout out to the doubles?
We do.
Yeah,
So let's start off with the women's doubles then.
there you go. We had our
And
girls. Go ahead.
we had our girls. What are they calling themselves?
Oh,
Co- Coca-Cola,
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, or something
Coca-Cola.
like
There you go.
that. Number one seeds,
Yes.
and we've seen in the past when Krejcikova and Siniakova are not there, Golf and Pagula have been representing.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Azarenka and that Haddad might.
Yes. Yes. They were like, listen, young ladies, not today. Not
No,
today.
and they started early because they took out the number. Did they take out? Yeah, they took out Maddox Sands and Mendoza,
Yep.
which was a good win.
Hmm.
And wait a minute, and before that, they had taken out McNally
Yep.
and Kaliskaya,
Because she
but
wasn't playing with a sister girl.
anyway,
Anyway.
I was gonna say it, but you're right there, right? Katie knew what her tragic mistake was
That's it
there.
right there.
Well,
So
she got to correct that. But then, a hot team has been Fernandez and Taylor Townsend.
yes, 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 and they played them tough. It went to three. It went to the third, the super tiebreaker.
Yep.
They got handed that bagel in the second set, so apparently they looked hungry. But they was like, "Thank you for feeding us. We got our snack on, so now we got some energy. We ready."
Oh yeah, and that was a great win for them. But I fully expected them to take the L
Yeah.
from Goff and Pagula.
Yes.
And look, straight sets started them off
Yeah.
in the bakery with that breadstick, and then 6-4 in the second.
Well, and you got to look at it like this. I mean, both Coco and Jess are strong, top 10 singles players. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the style that they play.
Right.
And unfortunately, I think that they missed the mark trying to play that because you've got Vika who is like, excuse me, y'all, I got Grand Slams. And then you've got Haddad Maya, who ain't no joke, Bryce. When I saw
No,
Haddad Maya is not to be played with, y'all.
she's
She
not.
she is for real. I mean, she to me has a lot of power. She's lefty. She's very creative with her shot selection. I actually like Haddad Maya low key.
Right.
And going into that, I was like, this ain't gonna be that easy. Because if they hitting their strokes right, and guess what they did, Bryce? They picked on that forehand.
Well,
Because I was looking at it, there were points there where literally they were like, "Yep, we're gonna hit it to Coco's forehand," and unfortunately, she made errors on it. And it's just when you are playing at that level, you can't be exposed like that. So it was really difficult for me to see that they were even able to expose that in doubles.
well, have you heard the latest about Coco and the forehand work?
Talk to me. Come on.
Apparently, who's going to be working with her specifically on her forehand because he said, we get this forehand right. This is a multiple Grand Slam champion we're looking
Hmm.
at.
Hmm.
Rick Macy.
All right. And we love us some Rick Macy now. Come on.
We do.
Okay.
So, yeah, and we know Rick can get that forehand right. So I'm really, really happy to see that they're taking such a strong move to
Yes.
address that forehand issue.
That is awesome. That is so awesome, man. Good.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, y'all, because right there, that like you said, if she can get that right, multiple Grand Slam champion in the future for sure.
Yep. Exactly. And Rick even said, she reminds me so much of a young Venus.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's a carbon copy. I mean, let's just be clear. Just how her look, her strokes, everything about her game is Venus. It really
Right.
is. To down to even the
The forehand.
the problem areas exactly.
Right.
So, but if you're gonna be in the mold of someone, that is definitely a great that you would want to be compared to. So, like I said,
Right.
hopefully she can get that right and really get back to her winning ways, because you can tell right now that it is definitely taking a toll on her mental and her
Right.
confidence. Yeah.
Right.
But with that said,
yep.
congrats
Shout out.
to Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just saying, shout out to Azarenka and Haddad Maya for getting, Azarenka at this late stage in her career getting 1,000 level doubles titles.
Right? That's really that's good stuff. And she got a little Leo, so them coins will go to good use. He like, mommy, yeah, come on now. Come on. And so
we got to make up for me not being able to play Wimbledon last year.
I know, right? We lost some coins right there.
Right. Just saying.
Just saying. So Bryce, why don't you lead us into the men's doubles? Because of course we have one of your faves that played in the final. So hand it over to you.
So, everybody's aware I'm a big Matthew Ebden fan. And he and Bopana have been clowning recently.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
And honestly, when they took out Kulhoff and Skupski, I thought they were going to take the title.
Yeah, same.
And actually, I thought in the finals they were going to meet our other guy, Aravello and Roger.
Yeah.
But Mother Russia, Carlin. All these people who couldn't play Wimbledon last year are like, we need to make up these extra points in cash.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Khachanov and Rublev. I mean, take it away, Isaac.
Yeah. I mean, and talk about a great doubles final. I mean, it really was a good final. I mean, Bops and Matthew Ebden, they played a strong match. They were able to kind of turn the tide in the second set because Rublev and Khachanov were just they were doing some good things in that first set. But then they started coming back, playing some good doubles, won that second set. But Bryce, I tell you what, they took a break after that second set. I don't know what them fools drank when they went back into that locker room. But Khachanov and Rublev came out. They was like, you know what? We gonna try and blitz you in this super tiebreaker. Because them boys came out and was just lighting it up. It was stupid how well they played the front end of that super tiebreaker, Bryce. It was just insanity. They couldn't miss. They could not miss. And I know that Matthew and Bubs were just like, what the hell just happened? We just won the second set. We should have the momentum. They was like, nah, friend. We went back to that locker room, got us a little drink. And I mean, Bryce, it was crazy how well they played that tiebreaker. And honestly, they deserved to win based on that. I mean, even Rublev hit a forehand. It was just stupid. I was like, it went right down the middle of the court, which is where you should go in most doubles tandems. But Rublev was on the ad side, Khachanov was on the deuce side. So it would say Khachanov's backhand, Rublev's forehand. Rublev was like, Karen, you better get yourself out the way and let me get this forehand. He swatted that forehand past Bob's. I was like, that is stupid. It was crazy, Bryce. So anyway,
wow.
They played a great match. I mean, like we were talking about with Bobs and with Matthew Ebden, they are playing some great doubles together. And I think they've made the commitment to play together through the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. I fully expect to see them not only at the year-end championships, but I think they're going to be pushing for number one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I tell you what, that Karen Khachanov and Rublev, they were not to be denied in that super tiebreaker.
Apparently not. So shout out to Hachinov and Rublev for getting them a Masters 1000 doubles title.
Yeah, first title together. Crazy.
And that's weird because they've played together a bit, right?
Well, they joked about it in the post interview because the catcher was like, "Well, Rublev been winning with everybody. He won with Aslan, he won with this person, won with that person. Can't win with me though." and Rublev was like, "I was just saving the big one for you, bro. Just saving it for you." I like those two. They're funny.
Yeah, and you know what? It's weird because in the whole political sphere. Yeah. We have this very interesting take on Russia and where they are at now. But I'm telling you what, in the world of professional tennis, some of my absolute favorites are the Russians. I love Medvedev. I love Karatsev. I really like Rublev. I really like Hachinov. It's just, they're an awesome group of players.
Right. It's unfortunate of what is happening with their country and what their country president is doing, because I personally have a feeling that none of them are in agreement with it. In fact, I'm pretty sure that we even saw Rublev before it even went down step out there and commented saying, "I don't want any of this."
Right.
So it's very disappointing that's happening. But like you said, those four are my absolute favorites. I like watching those guys and enjoy them, watching them win. So kudos to Hachinov and Rublev for snatching the title.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's keep it moving on to the women's singles. And the first thing that I'm going to say, Isaac, is we at least called the finals, right?
Yes, we did.
We did. Yes, we nailed that.
Yes.
But the kind of the subtitle here for me that I want to talk about a little bit are a couple of the quarterfinal matchups.
Yes.
And the first one is wanting to give a shout out to Sharif.
Yes.
Egyptian player. And I have to fess up. When we talked last week, I said, Sabalenka was just going to roll through her.
Mm-hmm.
And when Sharif came out and gave Sabalenka that whole biscuit in the first set.
Come on. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Now, granted, Sabalenka was like, we ain't got to leave the bakery, but we're going to change who's eating and who's serving.
Right.
What did you think about that match, Isaac?
Oh, Bryce. Yeah, I like you, was very impressed with what I saw from Sharif. She has a really interesting game, a lot of topspin, a lot of good aggressive strokes that she hits. I liked her game a lot. And she had Big Sab confused. That first set, you saw it too, because it was like Sab was stressing. I was like, woo, she really got her on the ropes. And then it speaks very highly of her game for her to put someone like Big Sab, who has been the hot girl on tour, to make her stress out like that over a set and a half. She ended up, of course, finding her way and flipped it around, of course, and walked away with it. But man, Sharif played a great match, and to even get to that point, having beat Mertens, having beat Garcia, having beat Kalinina, who these are not easy wins. Hell, she beat Camila Giorgi in the first round. I mean, come on, man. Those are just great wins on her part, man. So that is a great shout out, Bryce, because we do not want to miss that, because this young lady has been doing some really, really good work, and she's getting more and more results, and we got to make sure we give her shine. So kudos to her.
Absolutely. And then kind of on the flip side, kind of this running conversation we've been having about Jessica Pegula.
Yep.
Coming through. And the quarters, she loses to your girl.
My girl.
Cooter. Right? And once again, we'll continue to say, I mean, Cooter in itself, losing to her is not a bad loss. I mean, she's a great player. Right?
Right. Yes.
But just kind of where we're seeing Jessica at in terms of being the top American, being number 3 in the world, that's a match she needs to win.
Right, right. I absolutely agree with that. There's just, yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to, bucket or group her in with that whole Sakari kind of group there. But if you get into these stages, you got to pull out some victories. You got to start pulling out some
Right.
victories. And we need to see some titles. We need to see some
Yep.
titles
Yeah.
because, like I said, the fact that, there's only a couple title, here and there. If you're top five in the world, you should be racking up titles. I'm sorry. You just simply
Right.
should be. So to me, that's something that Coach Witt and just really have got to start working on is how they are going to flip the tide and start really, really getting not only to the championship matches, but winning them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think we moved to the semifinals where it really was no surprise for either
Mm-mm.
one of these results.
No.
Swiatek on Cooter, two breadsticks,
Right.
she just didn't waste no time with her.
No.
And then back to your other point, when we see at this stage of a tournament, Sakari against, another top player in the semifinal, Sabalenka, that was a pretty straight win for Big Sab as well, 4-1.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. For Sakari, like I said, honestly, I was actually surprised she got past Begu because typically, quarterfinal, I was like, oh, and quietly she almost didn't because they had to go three sets.
Right.
So, but yeah, I had no doubt, and I think that honestly, when Sab had to really kind of pull things together and get past Sharif, when she
Mm-hmm.
did that, I was like, she ain't gonna have no problem with Sakari. She will not. I think that was actually one of those matches she needed, where you're not playing great on the day, your opponent is playing at their top level, and you have to problem solve. I really feel like she had to do that during that Sharif match, which helped her, in my opinion, getting through this tournament.
Right. No, I totally agree with you. And I think both of them, Sabalenka and Iga, and I think they pretty much knew they were going to meet in the finals.
Right.
And I don't think they were looking to extend themselves further than they needed to.
Exactly. Yep. We're gonna get
Uh,
this done quick.
right. And so we get to the finals where you and I both called this for Iga because we figured on clay, this is where Iga would have the edge.
Absolutely. Yep.
But what happened, Isaac?
Well, Bryce is hard to say. Because that match was so top turby. It was a great match. It
Mm-hmm.
was a great match. And you saw Sabalenka come out and she's got her focus and she ends up pulling the first set out 6-3 and you're like, "Okay, okay." But then you see Iga and Iga's like, "No, no, sis, I'm Iga. This
Right.
Clay. I'm not
Right.
trying to play with you." And Bryce, she came back and you started, really taking the ball, moving Sab around a bit more. Talking about early rather, and moving Sab around. And so when she takes the second set 6-3, in my mind, I'm like, okay, Iga's back. She's playing Iga
Right.
tennis. She's about to snatch this. Bryce, I tell you what, this to me is what is, in my opinion, really defining Big Sab because we saw this at the Australian Open when she won the Grand Slam. She was serving. You just knew some double faults were going to come. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
She toughed it out. She got her mental was right, and she was like, "No, this is mine. Today is me." And she got it done at the Australian Open. And Bryce, I'm telling you, bro, she took that same level of confidence and was like, "You beat me last week, and you stole my Porsche. I ain't trying to let you steal. You just not gonna do that again." And
Right.
she buckled down, Bryce, and those ladies were playing some outstanding tennis. I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed that matchup. And like I said, Big Sab just she mentally out toughed Iga, which is shocking because again, on clay, on her best surface, I would have thought that once she took that second set, it was pretty much done. And I actually thought they was going to head to the bakery. But Big
Right.
Sav was having none of it, Bryce. I mean, tell me, Bryce, what do you think about this resolve that we are seeing from Arena Sabalenka?
And we've seen this over the years from other players. Once they get that taste,
Yep.
they get that taste.
Yes,
That's
yes.
all. That's all they needed,
That's all you need.
and so yeah, I think Big Sab is here to stay. Now, I do think this is going to be very interesting. As to, I think there's a strong potential they'll meet in the finals of the Italian,
Possibly. Yep.
and so to see what happens there, and then they could meet in the finals of Roland Garros.
That's the truth. It's
So since they've split the first two clay court tournaments, it's going to be very interesting to see if they can continue this for the next two and how that split works. And by the way, are there any other players out there that are going to try to disrupt
mm-hmm.
this final from happening?
I think there is one, and I think we both know who that one is.
Krajcikova?
Correct. If she can get her game right and she can get her mental right, Krajcikova can beat both Sabalenka and Iga on clay.
Yep.
I absolutely believe that. I don't think any of these other ladies can do that. I would not. Badosa, Pagula, Coco. No, I do not think. Even our girl Ons Jabeur. I love me some Ons, but I just don't think that they have what it takes to be able to contend with Big Sab and with Swiatek right now. Again, Krejcikova, if she's right in the mind and she's having a good day, she can get them.
Yeah. Do you know who? There's one other name that I would throw in there, and she has to be on her A game. But if Belinda Bencic is on her A game,
yeah,
I think she's another one that could be a surprise win, especially with Sabalenka.
Yeah.
I think Iga would be a little more of a problem, but if Sabalenka is off at all and is struggling with her serve at all, and Belinda is in that take the ball off the rise and just hitting stuff in corners and she could be a problem.
I agree. Where's she been though? Because did she even play Madrid?
Didn't she get hurt?
She may have. Maybe that's what's going on. Yeah, I missed that.
Wasn't with her knee or her something, but I definitely feel that Iga and Big Sab are kind of a clear 1-2 above anybody else, and I agree that Krejcikova is probably the likeliest of other players that could take out either one of them.
Right. And yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens at this Italian. I'm predicting that Iga will win the Italian just because the conditions are a little bit slower.
You're right.
They don't have that altitude, so I think that I'm pretty much picking her to get that. And in truth, unless Big Sab can do something really, really creative on a slower clay, it's hard for me to even see her beating her at Roland Garros. I think she will contend with her for sure, but basically my pick going in will be Iga though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think that's a very good point that you bring out for people that may not pay attention to the difference that is Madrid because of the altitude.
Correct. Ball flies. It's a little, it goes a bit faster. And that always plays into the hand of a power player, which Big Sabalenka is. Whereas Iga likes those slow conditions. She wanted to be mud because she got because she can take it early. She can create angles, and and her defense is just outstanding.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So shout out to you, Big Sab, for really continuing to separate, you and Iga from the rest of the pack. Because I'm telling you what, we were mentioning, a few minutes ago that Pagula is number 3. And although she should be very proud of that, and she's done an amazing job in getting there, I feel like there's a huge gap between 1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Definitely. At least on this surface. Now, when we get to grass, that will be a different thing because then you'll see the emergence of Rybakina. And I think that will be, in my opinion, Rybakina and Big Sab. And a couple others, depending on if they can show up and get right. But I think we'll really see how things shake out once we get back to the hard courts.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So
So let's move it over to the men,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
where this was that tournament of like, who that
Who they exactly? Where they come from?
is? Right.
What's your name?
Oh my God. And and we've got to start with our guy.
Yo, yeah.
Shout out to the return of Aslan Karatsev.
Absolutely. Come on now.
All
Talk
the
to
way
him,
to the
Bryce.
semifinals. And look, just like you said, I think he is like a big sap. And that altitude and the way he hits the ball,
Yes.
that
Yes.
was a perfect condition for him. I mean, don't get me wrong. Shout out to Struff. Struff played his butt off. I did kind of hate the fact that it looked like Karatsev got hurt in that match.
Yes, you saw that as well. They kind of mentioned it. Yeah.
Right. But I don't want to take anything away from Struff, but I wish they could have really battled that out,
Right. Right.
fully healthy between the two of them. But
Completely agree because and I think had Aslan stayed 100%, I think he would have pulled out that match. I really
I
do
think he would have
believe that
too.
he would have. Yeah. But like you said, kudos though, because I told you this. I mentioned this before. Struff is just I like Struff a lot. I'm a low key fan of his and like his game. He just just big old boy hit the big ball. I like that he comes to the net and like I said, Bryce, he played some outstanding tennis in this tournament. To be a lucky loser and
Yep.
to be able to make your way through a 1,000 and beat the person who beat you in qualies to get to the
Yeah.
final? Come
Yeah.
on, man. Come on now. Yeah, yeah.
And took out
I'm a fan.
Tsitsipas, a French Open finalist.
Right? Bryce, are we concerned?
Look, didn't we talk about this already? We
I think
concerned
we
with
did.
Tsitsipas.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I mean, Tsitsipas at
Yeah.
the end of the year, he'll still be top 10, but he may not be top 5.
I would have to agree with that because yeah. I mean, you just expect for the top players to be able to make it through these matches. And mind you, it was a tough one, 7-6, 5-7, 6-3. So it's
Right.
not like it was a gimme. But you just would hope that your top, if you're top 5 in the world, you're going to pull that match out. You're not going to
Yeah,
take the upset. And
definitely.
unfortunately, that did not happen.
So shout out to both of those semifinalists, Struff and
Yes.
Karatsev. But Struff made it to the finals. Now
Yes.
up top, there was a little more form there.
Yeah.
Carlito,
Yes,
as our
sir.
top seed, made it to the finals and, had a good win over Hachinov, who had a good win over Rublev. Um,
Yes.
and then there's that daggone Chorich,
Always
who
there.
he's kind of like the male version of Martic.
Exactly. It's like,
There
oh,
goes that guy,
there go that guy. Yep.
you know,
Yep.
Linnell's guy.
Absolutely. But good for him for actually being able to hold his own and take out your guy, Davidovich Fokina, because that
Yes.
was a tough match. That was a grueling match, and he barely took that 7-5 or 7-6, 7-5 in the third set tiebreaker. So yeah, yeah. But kudos to Davidovich Fokina. I feel like he's sort of slowly finding his game and his rhythm.
Right.
Because again, he had a great win against Rune.
Runa, right. He
Yeah,
sure did.
yeah. So just a lot of great matches in this tournament, Bryce. It was really, really exceptional tennis all around. But like you said, Church made it to the semi, and where you talk about who is this? We had Altmaier. I was like, who? Who are you? Where you come from? Who are your
Right.
people? Right?
Right.
Yeah, that one was definitely a surprise. That whole side of the draw just was really because that was where Casper Ruud and Musetti were,
Right.
and both
Because I
of
was
them
about
got
to,
upset.
right. 'Cause I was about to say, Altamar ain't really beat nobody
No, no,
because
he really did not.
his path was cleared. It's still a quarterfinal of a 1,000 level tournament, so
Right,
respect for
right.
that. But
Oh yeah,
you know,
but who he had to beat to get there, that's 250 level. If we're being honest.
challenger. Wait a minute, 'cause we just saw a challenger with Andy Murray and Tommy Paul in the finals. So
I
I don't
know,
know.
right? It might not even be that.
It may be USTA regional. I'm, why are you clowning?
Exactly. Why are you clowning? So, but
So
shout out to him though for making it there. And
yeah,
Yamunar, he made it to at least the quarters. So yeah, got some names that again we are not used to hearing and or saying, but kudos to them for a nice deep run in 1,000 levels
right.
Masters. Yeah.
So then you have Alcaraz against Struth in the
Yeah.
finals, and where some people may have been thinking that Alcaraz was just going to run through him like a bad Mexican dinner. You know, he ended up, this match ended up being really, really good.
It was really good, Bryce. It was really good. I think that, because they had played before. Again, Struth was the one that had knocked out Carlitos in the French Open a couple years back. Of
Oh,
course,
yeah,
this
that's
was
right.
before he
Hmm.
was, fully in form and he became himself. But they also played last year at Wimbledon, and again, Struve lost that one, but it was 5 sets. So they've played some really extended matches. So the fact that this one went three honestly wasn't that surprising to me. And honestly, Bryce, I'm gonna tell you what. Okay, Carlos came out, did what he needed to do that first set.
Right.
But Struve came out that second set and started really implementing that serve volley, that big serve, get to the net, pass
Hmm.
me if you can. And Carlos was not stepping up to the plate. He won that set, and it seems like he backed away from doing that. And I didn't understand. I was like, "Well, friend, did you get tired?"
I'm
Or
about to say you
because
probably got tired.
yeah, because I was like, it's working. I'm like, don't until he starts regularly passing you, why are you not continuing doing what you're doing? And it seemed like he went on a little bit of a lull where he started doing the whole ground stroke from the back of the court. And I was like, that's not how you're going to win, sir. And
And
sure enough,
right.
that's what happened. Go ahead, Bryce.
And you know what else happens sometimes? The reality may have hit him in that third set, right?
And that's true. I thought
You
about that
know,
as well. Yep.
he's in 1,000 level final against the number one player in the world, one set off.
Right. Right. Yep.
And at that point, it may have been like,
Little chokey choke.
little chokey choke. And,
whoo, I'm
and,
getting hot.
right, and who got big hands to choke with is Alcaraz. And he was like, "Boy, bring me your net."
Exactly.
We're
Right.
about to end this. So
Oh man.
that could
But
have played a part as well.
I think you are absolutely spot on with that, and I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, because it just seemed like his tactics changed just ever so slightly, and when Carlito saw that, he was just like, "Oh, bro, you done messed up now,"
Yeah,
because
right.
I got you. I got, like you said, them hands found that neck. Said, I got you. Started shaking.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, what an incredible tournament overall. I mean, Carlos Alcaraz. Can we just say that this is the real deal? Can we just say it, folks?
Wait a minute, and where are those people who were saying that we're overhyping him?
Whew, where you at?
Where y'all at? Do you still believe that?
uh,
Number
mm,
one got Grand Slam title under his belt and just racking up 1,000 levels?
exactly. Then two back to backs, Barcelona and Madrid.
Right. So I mean, it don't feel like overhyped to me.
No, no, it definitely does not. Now, he deserves all of the hype that he is receiving, and then some. I really
Right.
feel like he's on a path, man, and it's going to take something really special to knock him off. I'm hoping that Runa is that, because you always want again that yin and that yang. You got to have
Right.
the somebody that's going to push you to be better, and I'm
Right.
hoping that that's going to be Holger, because right now I honestly feel, outside of course, Nadal and Djokovic, Carlitos is in a class of his own. He absolutely is.
Right. And I think you're going to start to even see a difference between Alcaraz versus Nadal and Djokovic based upon age.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You
That's
got them
gonna,
fresh legs. Them young
yeah,
legs.
that's going to be a factor against
Yes.
those guys now. You know,
Absolutely agree, my man. Absolutely agree. So yeah,
so
I'm excited, bro. I'm so excited for this French Open. It's sad to hear, of course, as folks, if you haven't heard, Nadal won't be playing the Italian, so we won't get to see him prior to the French Open.
right,
We will get to see Novak though. So hopefully we will get that Alcaraz Novak final in Italy.
mm-hmm. I agree with you. And also talking about announcements, did you hear that Anna Samova
Yes.
is taking a break, taking a mental health break, and is not committing to any return date?
Right, right. And I
Uh,
think that's the right thing for her, Bryce, because again, she's, been through some turmoil, been through, just she's had some injuries, had some issues there. I feel like she just needs to step back and reassess her whole career and what she's trying to do. Because she's a great tennis player. I mean, she's been, she was with Coco in the juniors doing big things. So she just needs to, in my opinion, definitely focus in on her mental health and really just, truly reevaluate kind of her whole tennis career and then come back when she's ready.
right, I
Yeah,
agree. So best of luck to her.
absolutely.
Well, I think that kind of wraps it up for the Madrid tournament.
Yes.
Um, you know, Wanted to make an announcement that if you were not aware, last week we rolled out our Sisters on Tennis line of apparel and merchandise.
Yes.
And so we've had several people asking for it. We did a post and there were several comments that people were like, about time. So it's out there for you people. If you are looking for gifts for that special woman in your life,
Yes.
there you go.
There you go. It's out there for you. Just go to our page, brothersontennis.com, hit the shop button, and you will find the Sisters on Tennis merchandise under that page. So shop away, folks. It's there for you.
Absolutely. So, Isaac, it is time for us to run and to jump on our IG Live for the night.
Yes.
But any final words you have before we bail out?
No, I think we're good, brother. Another good one.
All right. Well, everyone be safe and be good. On behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone, be well.